Children, good morning, all of you. In Part B, Political Theory, Chapter 5 rights is going on, and here so far we have studied up to what are rights. Besides it, we have covered the overview of this chapter. What are rights, children? Rights are essentially an entitlement or a justified claim. It denotes what are entitled to as citizens, as individuals, and as human beings. It is something that we consider to be due to us, something that the rest of the society must recognize as being a legitimate claim that must be upheld. It is something that that must be accepted by the society. What is to be upheld? What is requisite for us as individuals, as human beings, as a citizen of a country? And this does not mean that everything that I regard to be necessary and desirable is a right. Not everything could be a right. That must be beneficial for the people, for the entire society, that must be raising the dignity and the self-respect of individuals, not only for us, but for everyone. Rights are primarily those claims that I, along with the others, regard to be necessary for leading a life of respect and dignity. What I consider to be fruitful for me, that must be fruitful for the others. What raises my self-respect, my dignity, that should be raising the dignity and the self-respect of others. In fact, on the one of the grounds on which rights are claimed, that is, they represent conditions that we collectively see as the source of respect and dignity. That must be the source of self-respect and dignity for everyone, not for any individual. For example, right to livelihood may be considered necessary for leading a life of dignity, but the, that is the right what is required for others. Being gainfully employed gives a person economic independence and thus is essential for his or her dignity. Having our basic needs met gives gives the freedom to pursue our talents and interests. Another ground on which the rights have been claimed or the rights are claimed is that they are necessary for our well-being. That should not be the thing what is productive, what is fruitful or useful for any individual and disastrous for the others. They help individuals to develop their talents and skills. A right like the right to education, for instance, helps to develop our capacity to research, gives us useful skills and enables us to make informed choices of life. It is in this sense that education can be designated as a universal right. Why? That is the universal right because that is enhancing the dynamic systems, information, knowledge of everyone, not of any individual. So, if an activity is injurious to our health and well-being, it cannot be claimed as a right. Like we do not have a right to use some drugs or smoking or whatever is there that is injurious not only to us, but these are injurious for the entire society. Maybe those people are not consuming them directly, but passively they are affected because of this. If one consumes drugs, that affects his personal, interpersonal relations with others. With Since the medical research have shown the prohibited drugs are injurious to one's health and since they affect our relations with others, you must have seen the people who are consuming those drugs. They are aggressive, often they are quarreling, often they are having disputes, conflicts with others. They are disturbing the peace. Health and science. We cannot insist that we have a right to inhale or inject drugs or smoke. In the case of smoking, it may even be injurious to the health of those people who may be around the smoker. Passively, they would be inhaling the smoke, what would be emitted out by the person who is actively smoking. Drugs may not only insult our health, but they may also sometimes change our behavior. Our behavior gets changed, and such people are aggressive, quarrelsome. They are often have a quarrel with others and might be dangerous not only for themselves but to the other people. In terms of our definition of rights, smoking or taking banned drugs cannot be claimed as a right. Though you have the right to freedom, you can choose anything, but you cannot be opting those prohibited drugs and those things. Where do rights come from? What is the basis of the rights? How they come into existence? In the 17th and the 18th centuries, the political the political theorists the political theorists have argued that rights are given to us by nature, like the nature or by God, like right to water, right to clean air, and all those rights have been given to us by the nature, by the God. The rights of man are derived from natural law. This means that rights are not conferred by a ruler or a society. Rather, we are born with them. And this is the source of many rights. As such, these rights are inalienable and no one can take these away from us. They identified three natural rights. of man. What those three rights are? The right to life, the right to liberty, and the right to property. Those rights are natural rights, and no one can snatch them, no one can exploit them, no one can take them away from us. All other rights are said to be derived from these basic rights. What are the basic rights? What the people considered of 17th and 18th century? Those basic rights are right to life, right to liberty, right to property. And the other rights are originated from those three rights. The idea that we are born with certain rights is a very powerful notion because it implies that no state or organization should take away what has been given by the law of nature. Whatever the nature is provided to us, that could not be taken away by anyone, by any government, by any authority. This conception of natural rights has been used widely to oppose the exercise of the arbitrary powers of the states, the governments, and to safeguard the individual's freedom. The people, since beginning, have used them, and especially when the arbitrary powers of the government, whether the government of any kind, whether monarchical or any dictatorship or any other form of the government, that became very arbitrary. They restricted people from enjoying the rights, and because of that, people at the time, in the 17th and 18th century, uh, especially the political theorists, have argued that rights are given to us by nature or by God, and no one can take them away. Consider those three rights very basic rights, very essential for the survival of our life. What those are? Those are right to life, right to freedom, right to property, and the other rights have been originated from those rights. In the recent years, the term human rights is being used more than the term natural rights. The people have stopped now using the term human rights, sorry, the term natural rights. Instead, they have started using the term human rights. As a human being, what we should be enjoying with, or what could be our natural rights, what could be our essential conditions, essential rights for our survival, for the survival of our smooth life, or leading a smooth life of respect and dignity. This is because the idea of there being a natural law or a set of norms that are laid down for us by nature or God appears unacceptable today because nowadays the people are more reasonable. They could not be accepting, the government could not be accepting anything what we say natural. So instead of using the natural laws or natural rights, the political theorists have started using the phrase or the term as the human rights. Rights are increasingly seen as the guarantees that the human beings themselves seek or arrive at in order to lead a minimally good life, for leading a good life, for surviving a good life with respect and dignity. What we require, that is That minimal thing is known as the rights. They are the guarantee that the human beings themselves seek or arrive at in order to lead a minimally good life. The assumption behind the human rights is that all persons are entitled to certain things simply because they are human beings. Because the people are human beings who are leading a good life, they require something, they require certain things. As a human being, each person is unique and equally valuable. This means that all persons are equal and no one is born to serve others. No one is born to serve others. Everyone is equal. Each of us possesses and each of us possesses an intrinsic value. What is intrinsic value, children? That is the natural or essential. So each of us possesses a natural or essential value. Hence, we must have equal opportunities to be free and realize our full potential. You must have seen the people who are set free and would be using their full potential, that do the things best from their side. So, to be free and realize our full potential, everyone must be having the equal opportunities. Everyone must be given the equality. This conception of a free and equal self is increasingly being used to challenge existing inequalities based on race, caste, religion, and gender. There should not be any ground to discriminate or for discrimination. Today, the UN Universal Declaration of Human Rights builds upon this understanding of rights, and it attempts to recognize those claims that the world community collectively see as being important for leading a life of dignity and self-respect. The UN Charter now has started accepting those claims for the world community, what the people of the world today see essential for survival of their life. Not only for survival of life, but the survival of life with dignity and with respect. The notion of the universal human rights has been used by oppressed people all over the world. The universal human rights means there should not be any individual or any particular group who is enjoying those rights at a large extent. Everyone should be enjoying them equally. So it is used by those people who have been deprived of their rights, who have been afflicted, who have been living a marginalized life all over the world, to challenge the laws which segregate them and deny them equal opportunities and rights. why those marginalized or the depressed classes have used the phrase or the term universal rights because they consider them essential for themselves also, not only essential for the others, for those people who were enjoying them. In fact, the in fact it is through the struggles of groups that have felt excluded that the interpretation of existing rights has sometimes been altered. They have kept on struggling, demanding those rights. They have kept on claiming those certain things, what they consider useful for them, useful for giving us life of respect and dignity, like slavery. Slavery has, for instance, been abolished, but there are other struggles that have only had a limited success. Though from all over the world, slavery has been abolished. There is no slavery, but there are other goals or other demands, other claims, what have had a limited success. Even today, there are communities struggling to define humanity in a way which includes it. Even still, people are considering themselves that the conditions laid upon them are the conditions, are the situations, what is segregating them from others, what they do not consider acceptable as the human being. The list of the human rights which people have claimed has expanded over the years as societies face new threats and new challenges. It is obvious, with time everything is changing, so the scope of rights, the demands of the people is also changing. For instance, we are very conscious, we are very conscious today of the need to protect the natural environment and besides generated the demands for rights to clean air, water, sustainable development and life. Nowadays people are very conscious. They have started demanding the other things because they are having other challenges, other threats like what the level of the pollution what is they are facing nowadays is so much that they have the fear that in future or the future generations would not be having any clean environment. At what extent the development is going on now, the people are using resources or emitting out the resources that would not be lasting long. They have the threat that the future generations would not be having those resources with them to satisfy their needs. That's why they have started demanding the sustainable development. So today, the need to protect the natural environment, the cutting of the trees, polluting the rivers, and all those things, deforestation, the contaminants are mixed with air, water, soil, land. They are degrading our environment. A new awareness about the changes which many people, especially women, children, or the sick, face in times of war or natural crisis, has also led the demands for a right to livelihood, rights of children, and life. You must have seen that at the time of the natural calamity or at the time of crisis, the people, especially women, children, and the sick people, the old people, are the groups what are most suffered. That's why people have started demanding right to livelihood, rights of children, rights of women, and so on. Such claims express a sense of moral outrage about the infringements of the people's dignity, and they also act as rallying call to people to try and extend the rights to all human beings. They are trying to they are trying to extend the rights to all human beings so that everyone could be using them, everyone could be enjoying them, and everyone could be living a life of respect and dignity. We should not we should not understand the extent and the powers of such claims. They often involve quite support. Such claims can support a majority. The entire society starts supporting them. They may have heard, sorry, you may have heard about the pop star Bob Geldof, Bob Geldof recent appeal to Western governments to end poverty in Africa and seen TV reports about the scale of support which he received from the ordinary people. The famous pop star Bob Geldof's appeal must have observed over the Western governments to end poverty in Africa, and you must have observed the reports what shows the support he had gained from those people, what he had gained from the ordinary people, the common people. So, children, everything that the people consider essential, what should not be segregating them from other people, is always supported by mass, by the society. The entire society works for that. Why rights are essential to make the people live a life of dignity, life of respect. They should be they should be treated equally. They should not be marginalized. They should not be segregated. And overall, all should be living a life with dignity and respect. So children, today we have studied about where do rights come from. The rights come from the people's demand. When the people start demanding them, the people start demanding the things, whatever they are having as a threat or challenge to overcome. They start demanding new things and they become those claims. What they are demanding becomes right. If the society accepts that and if that is approved or sanctioned by the law. So children, for today I think it's enough. We should stop over here and we shall continue it in the next class. No matter whether that is a class through Zoom meeting or through such recorded class. Okay, by the time we see soon, you stay home, stay safe. May God bless you. Thank you all. Have a good day.